Yeah, I'm outside. So,
Yeah. Where do you live now, man? Are you still you in the South, or where are you?
um, in New Jersey now. Where I'm
Really?
originally. Yeah, not
Okay.
not proud of it, but here we are.
Well, I suppose that explains the Irish heritage then. So it checks out.
Yeah, actually, my dad's from up in Boston, but
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, so we just kept moving south.
All right. Did you was it never in your genes to get the accent, I don't know what they call it. I guess the Jersey accent, whatever it is.
I don't know. I got people at work that tell me I have it, but I don't think so.
I was about to say I never really heard that when I was like I would never guess in a million years that you're from Jersey just from like even the Irish thing didn't even give that away for me.
Yeah, I think we all just have regular accents. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
But what's been up, man?
Yeah, just running this. It's Arizona in July, so it's pardon my French, fucking hot out.
You're in fucking Arizona?
Yeah, dude, Phoenix, like in the center of it all, man. It's been like easily 115 minimum for like 2 weeks now.
Really?
Yeah,
Where
man.
you going?
It's
Is that where you're from?
no, I'm originally from Daytona Beach, from the Sunshine State, and ironically, I go to a place with more sunshine. But
Are
yeah,
you ever going back there?
I'm debating on it because I graduate school in March, so I have like a couple different options between going there or like working maybe here. Because like there's a like Arizona's like a unique gem. Like I do Muay Thai and stand up comedy out here, so like the scenes out here are like really
Oh,
big.
really?
So I may do that. I've entertained the idea of maybe going abroad. Like one of my sparring partners, he's also a Marine too. Ironically, he went to Thailand for a couple months to train, so I'm tempted to go out there, but I don't know yet. I definitely want to move back to Florida at some point in my life, just because it's my family's there. It's my old stomping grounds, all that jazz.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, my family is not there. Nothing against them, but I do want to go back to Florida. Like,
I like it.
I fucking love Tampa area. There's you can vacation around the state on any given weekend. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You lived in Florida for a little bit, or
Yeah, so me and Lacoste moved out there as roommates, which
okay,
was a fucking hilarious time. Of course, right when we got out, it was like 2.5 years we lived together in a house that we rented, and
okay.
yeah, so we moved out there. Um, yeah, he wound up starting a family basically, so I came
Hmm.
back here.
Yeah, checks out. It it makes sense because I remember when because now the memories are kind of clicking in because I remember when I got out when I was here. I remember Floyd and I don't know if they lived together, but like Floyd and Albin, they both went to Florida too, and they were doing some stuff together. And I just
I
remember
think
thinking, like,
I remember that. I remember Albin's from there, I think, Orlando area,
okay,
which is crazy because even though like same platoon and everything, we barely ever saw him, even though he was like 20 minutes away.
real okay,
I don't know why, we just never really met up. But
yeah. I mean, it's just I found it wild because I remember thinking to myself, like, why did all of Cat just like migrate to Florida after we all got out? It felt like that.
not as many as you think. It's just those few. I don't know. I
You,
loved it out there, and I don't even like Orlando really. Like I not a fan of Orlando, but Tampa. Oh, Strawser, Tampa.
oh,
My
okay.
good boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, how's he doing, by the way? I don't think I remember touching base with him a little bit like right before I got out, but I haven't spoken to him.
So he's going to be he's trying to be a firefighter right now. Actually, he's in the fire academy.
Oh, good for him.
Passed the EMT school. Yeah, so he's trying to get an internship at whatever station, and
Hmm.
seeming to like it. So he's like the squad leader in his like fire academy and shit.
Oh,
He's
hell
like
yeah.
he's telling me like how they're hazing him with like fucking carrying ladders around and shit. Like I'm like, yeah, see, seems a little bit similar. You know,
Yeah. Took a step up in the world just to go right back down to square one. It's
yeah.
well, what are you up to now? What are you doing?
So I actually sell cars at a dealership,
My
but
man.
I don't know if I'll do it forever. It's kind of stressful.
Mm.
Just get nonstop phone calls. Like today's my day off.
Yeah.
Work Saturdays, so I get a Tuesday off. Um,
Okay.
and they're closed Sunday. But it's
Mm.
just a real oddball schedule too.
Yeah.
And you work a lot of holidays. So I'm like, yeah, you get out of the military and then you're doing something else that fucking your schedule sucks. Like what's probably won't do it forever.
I feel you. Do you just like do you like sales in general, or is it just like maybe just like that part of it? You're just maybe not your thing.
So I've learned how to do it within the last 2 years, and it's kind of like a game, and it is fun a
Yeah.
lot of times, but a lot of times it's like if you're like yesterday I worked 9 to 8, so it's by the end of the day you're just fucking smoked like mentally.
Oh yeah.
It's not hard at all as far as any kind of physical, like you don't work, you're just talk to people,
Yeah.
but you're talking the customers all day, and you could have somebody that sits there for 5 hours asking questions, and then they don't buy anything, and then you don't like your commission based, so like
Hmm.
you just worked all day to not get paid, which sucks.
Yeah.
Or you have the opposite end of that where somebody comes in with the exact car they want, and they're like, I'm taking it right now. You didn't do any work, and you're like, fuck yeah, just made a commission.
Yep.
So there's like extremes of both sides of it, but
I feel you. I did door-to-door sales a lot last year. I feel you like when you're talking about just how mentally it can be a little
yeah, that seems even worse because at least people are coming in to talk to us. So like they came in on their own will. But
yeah.
so generally, like they're at least looking for a car. But there is a lot of like tire kickers that are, that they're just to fucking ask questions and then go buy somewhere else. So
Yeah. I did work at
you're
a car dealership for a month. It's like you do get they're obviously like warm leads, I guess you would say. Like they're there of their own will. So it's like, okay, you don't really have to sell them as much per se.
yeah,
Like you already know kind of why they're there.
it is a lot like kind of mob ran though, as far as like favoritism and the hot leads go to certain people. Like
Hmm.
certain managers take other like certain people under their wing, and they like feed them kind of deals that are easier than, and then they give the trash kind of deals to people they don't like, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's there's no camaraderie, I'll say that. There's no
No, yeah. It's definitely a doggy dog world per se.
yeah, but I did get into that because I moved back from Florida, and had a couple friends I grew up with that worked there, so they got me into it.
Okay.
And I'll say like I would never do something like that if I didn't have people I knew already working there.
Hmm.
But
Do you like did you have like a sales background or anything like that like prior to that, or was that like your first real
no, I had
job?
no. I got out of Florida. I was welding in Florida. Went to the trade school for like it's like 18 months, and
Okay.
then like I said, was welding like a total like 2 years in a shop. Started
Hmm.
out part time, and then once I graduated, was doing that full time. I was making $17 an hour, no benefits, and
Oof.
I'm like breaking my back, fucking in the heat of Florida, doing metal work, getting burnt, like breathing in smoke all day. Like I'm
Shoot, might
like
as well go back to CAAT, dude.
I'm like this ain't it. And I'm like, also if you go into a field and you look around, you see like the older people,
Mhm.
the veterans, if you will,
Yeah.
senior guys, and you're like, all right, that dude fucking can't walk straight. This guy's back is broken over here. This
Hmm.
guy, there's a fucking dude with one eye.
With one eye.
Yeah, Mexican dude with one eye. And I'm like, obviously it happened fucking in welding. I never asked him about it. It's a
Yeah.
touchy subject, but uh, and then you look around, you're like, none of them really are in any like position to retire. These
Hmm.
50, 60-year-old guys, like now it was non-union, so I'm sure union's better,
Okay.
um, but yeah, none of them were in a position to retire. None of them like appeared to have nice things, but the owner, obviously,
Hmm.
owning a business is you're fucking eating. But um, all the low man on the totem pole, or even the guys that have been there forever, like it seemed like it was something you're gonna work 20 to like get to where you want to be now.
Yeah.
Like starting out, and that it's just not it. So,
Yeah, that's
I moved.
interesting because I ironically I go to a trade school here in Arizona, but I'm doing engineering though, and even like a lot of the jobs that I've seen, once you get to like certain seniority, yeah, you get paid pretty well, but even starting out, it's surprisingly lower than I thought it'd be. And hearing that, I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to see that. That's like the norm, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it's I think it's economy based for sure. Um,
Mhm.
you know, they like the businesses are hurting, so they just take it out on the little guy, the
Yeah.
fucking people starting out. And I think the problem is like a lot of people just like they just accept it, and because they know, like maybe I'm like I think I'm too good to work, whether you have skill or not. Like you just can't live off a certain minute, like certain you just it's not worth going to work all day for.
Yeah.
No matter what skill I have or don't have, like a certain amount of low money is just not enough.
Yeah.
Um, but I think there's always going to be people out there that don't see that they deserve more for fucking 8 hours of their life every day, or whatever the shift is.
Yeah.
They'll just accept it, go to work, and then the business knows they'll always have somebody who can do that fucking, you know, basically boot kind of work, and they can pay them the smallest amount and get away with it. So
Yeah. It gives them no incentive to really like boost it over time or nothing like that.
yeah, yeah,
I feel like.
cost of living going up and everything. Yeah.
Mhm. So do you know what you want to do after you or do you have an idea of what you're trying to get into with the like with leaving the car sales?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think the goal is eventually to go out back to Florida, but
Hmm.
you know, there's no like plan in place for that yet.
I feel it.
Right now, the summer is kind of hot. Like sales are booming, so I'm just like kind of riding that wave, just
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Hmm.
Now it is a lot of work. Like one of my managers, he had a really good point. He's like, more money, more problems, basically, which is as corny as that sounds. It's like obviously more sales from more customers, but more customers, more problems. Like not only do you just sell the car, you have to deal with like, hey, Colin, my fucking I just hit a fucking dog with my bumper. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm like, maybe call the cops. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. Maybe call insurance. You know, but they think I'm like their personal fucking, you know, go-to guy. So,
Yeah.
uh, nah. But realistically, it's 6 months later, they're like, you're setting up oil changes. You know, I've had a couple cars with problems in it right off the bat, or like
Hmm.
you sold a car and then they want mud guards later, and it's like I got to go schedule that with service, or and it's a whole process. It sounds super simple, like oh, I just go schedule it, and then like our process is dog shit. So it's
No, yeah, I feel that. Like it takes away from your time to do your job. Plus, you feel like it's
yeah, you're not getting
well,
paid for that.
yeah. Plus, they never call you with a positive feel or anything like that. It's always something negative, of course, when it
Yeah,
comes to something like that. So you feel like it's a dig on you per se.
yeah, yep. But they're like my Apple CarPlay doesn't work. I'm like, mine doesn't either, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's a third party. It's not even from like the manufacturer, but
Hmm.
I don't know. We're going down a rabbit hole here.
I mean, hey, first world problems. It's kind of
Yeah.
what was the I'm a little curious because I just that video or not the video the getting all lost for words here. The picture you sent me, that's a Coletti, right? Buried underneath
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million like funny stories, I think. Um, a lot of them I forget until somebody like reminds you, like, oh, remember that? Like that happened. And I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about that. Um, but like just going through like deployment, I figured it would be the best way to find a picture real quick. And I'm like, that picture just sums up the fucking ship life all in one. Like
That was my first
fucking
thought too when I saw it.
no space for anything, just fuck it. We had a sign, um, pretty sure I made it actually. Like out of Sharpie cardboard, and I just put up in our little hallway. And it just said, "Let's get angry."
Really?
Because I was like, we run into the same problems every day, and every day we get pissed.
Yep.
Everyone's mad at each other, and there's no fucking space to get dressed, and we all got to be in the same place in 10 minutes, and they give us no warning, and get all your fucking gear, but everyone's like in the way of everyone.
Yeah.
It's just a big clusterfuck.
Do you remember, speaking of the cardboard signs, because Charnes actually sent me this stuff. Do you remember the you probably already know what it is. It was like we made street signs for everywhere, but it was like they were all named after porn stars.
Yeah. Yep. I have a lot of pictures of that too. It's like Lisa Ann Lane.
August Ames Memorial Highway. My favorite one.
Yeah. Or it was like, and then we had like the serious, or like Cat Alley or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know how we got away with that for so long.
I think especially with all the higher ups. I remember we had to take them down for a couple field days here or there, but
yeah. Well, I think the Marine higher ups were like, they thought it was funny. And then eventually they were like, oh, I think we had a Navy inspection or something. They're like, oh, so-and-so is coming in to like check the AC or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we had to take them down. So that ruined that.
You know what's crazy about that whole deployment?
What's that?
In a few days, it'll be 4 years since we came back. Like, it's been an entire enlistment since that happened, dude. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's absolutely nuts to me. I don't know where the time went. I'm like, dude, I could have, as crazy as this sounds, is like, I feel like I should have stayed in sometimes. I'm like, we already would have been at 8 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's actually what I want, but.
No, yeah, I feel it's a blue collar job at the end of the day. Probably would be like the Mexican guy with one eye for all we know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's if you could just repeat the beginning of or like kind of the middle of your enlistment, your first enlistment, I think that's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like, you're not a boot, but you don't have like too much responsibility and then you're not like E5, E6, they start sending you to like, to be a drill instructor and teach SOI and all that shit. Like, I would never want to do that. But
yeah, all the B billet stuff.
But if I could just be a fucking, Marine in the platoon, like in the action, that's the sweet spot to me.
Oh yeah, hands down it is. It's like once you hit
a lot of people want to go to those billets and stuff, and I respect that. I do, but that's not me at all. So
no, yeah. I feel like being like a sergeant, especially like an infantry sergeant, that's usually like the sweet spot that a lot of people aspire to, or at least the way it looks.
Yeah.
Because you're not because as a corporal, you're usually small unit leadership, or at least you're you're involved in that capacity. So there is like eyeballs on you. But once you hit sergeant, you're slightly above that, but you're not like in the ranks of the staff NCOs to where you have more responsibility thrown on you. Do you know what you would have done, or have you given thought of maybe what you would do if you re-enlisted or stayed in?
Dude, I think about it all the time. As crazy as this sounds, like I almost want to just like be an 11 for some reason.
Okay.
You just see like the fucking CQB photo videos on Instagram and shit. I'm like, wish I kind of did more of that. Now, if I was back in it, would I actually want to do that? I have no fucking clue. Like, then you see a cat riding by in Humvees while you're hiking, and you're just like, oh fuck. But like on the flip side of that, I will say CAAT still always hiked but it was with machine guns and bullshit. So then we'd be looking at the 11s like, oh man, I wish I was just carrying my rifle, And then also, I wanted to like do the indoc. That's something that I always thought was cool, but the first go around, when I was qualified to do it, I didn't like I was so new that I thought it was like this fucking crazy thing to do, and I was like, nah, let me just stick with CAAT and then learn the infantry, and then maybe when I get up to speed, then I'll try out. And then by that time, I like got in trouble a couple times, so I was like not allowed to go. So that's why they called it Outlaw Company at one point. Everyone was fucking in trouble the whole time.
Outlaw.
Outlaw. Master Sergeant Dunn running around. You see him, you just yell outlaw from a mile away. Funniest fucking thing.
You remember when we were in Arizona and it was just, I mean, obviously it happened outside of that too, but just like when either Master Sergeant Dunn or just anybody would say it, just the whole company for like 10 minutes would just be yelling, outlaw, phone call, chow hall, like whatever.
Yeah. Dude, it was like a pack of wolves.
I know.
But that's the shit that that's the shit that you live for though. Like those motherfuckers, I go to war with any day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hated when they try to they switched they try to like that was built on everyone being in trouble, and like they kind of made something good out of it at that time with the leadership and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of redirected all that fucking bullshit into like a positive thing.
Yeah.
And I think everyone loved it, and it just built up the company and the platoons even better. But I think when they changed the name, which that was great leadership after that too, I think. But just taking away the outlaw, I think that was our shit. Like,
I agree.
Everyone loved that. Like, all the call signs were sick. Like, fucking savage. You can't beat that.
No.
Yeah.
It's like it was cool to be in weapons company. Like we had ironic I say this, but we made it like even though like you were in CAAT, I was 81s, we knew guys who were in snipers. It's like we had our clique. Like it was our, we grew tighter with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everyone was boys.
And I won't say names because I mean we know the people who did change the name of that. I mean I love the Marine, the guy who did change the name, obviously, but it was like that name change. It's like
No. So that I know. I think we're talking about the same person. That guy respect the shit out of. Absolutely, 100%. I just didn't like the name change. That's all.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think he was just trying to kind of update it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah, when he talked about because was it Lakota, our new name that we got.
Yeah.
I liked his reasoning and stuff and like trying to be professional, but it's like, nobody's going to yell out Lakota and then we're all going to think we're cool. We're going to look like idiots if we just start yelling that out. It's not the same.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk bad about it, but it's just because I think the difference is this, like, outlaw was us because it was something that, this is corny, but like in Bella Wood, Devil Dog was named to the Marines. Like they earned that name, and somebody else came up with a cool nickname for them. You know what I mean? They didn't just call themselves that. And it's kind of the same thing. Like they called it outlaw because of everyone fucking just being maniacs and getting in trouble all the time. That was a disaster of a company for a little bit, and then it just like kind of grew everyone together. I think because of all the chaos. But
it's amazing what a name like that can do too.
Also, I want to touch on the fact that I'm pretty sure like our whole platoon was getting investigated by NCIS, like legit, for all the hazing and everything.
Yeah.
And we would go in there and just fucking pretty much laugh in their face. Like it was Marine officers and Marine officers investigating, and then NCIS as well. And we would kind of just like laugh in their fucking face. Like, yeah, we knew everything that happened and whatever. I'm not gonna get into the details, but
yeah,
everyone backed everyone up as far as like, yeah, like you're not gonna get me to say shit.
We're outlaws, but we're not rats. You're not gonna.
Yeah, Yeah, everyone went in there and was like, "Yeah, you're not getting anyone to talk about it." Like, which just screw the platoon together even more.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. You can't.
It's like what's that show? 1923. It's like the when they had like the Indian school. I don't know if you've seen the show, but they had like an Indian school, but like they're just trying to beat the native, like they're trying to beat all the Indians to like make them more white, but instead they just make them more like angrier and more rowdy, just make them more proud.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I get the idea. Yeah, it just kind of has a reverse effect.
So you were correct me if I get the numbers wrong. You guys were Cat 1 or Cat 2?
I was Cat 1.
Cat 1, okay.
Yeah.
So did you know or like have a good relationship with any of the guys with Cat 2? I mean, obviously I imagine it was a little better than like being with 81s per se because you worked with them a little more, but
So I always forget the like exact teams and shit sometimes, but like
yeah.
I remember Cat was all together at one point, if I'm
Mhm.
if I'm correct, or at least even if it was split, like we just did everything together with Cat 2 anyways. No matter if it was technically divided up. Now I think later, no, I think it was all together and then it split into Cat 1, Cat 2, and you still did most of the shit with Cat 2. Every once in a while they would have their own like own program or whatever.
Mhm.
Like funny you bring that up. Cat 1 on fucking shit trash island. Uh, Cat 1 was in the defense, digging holes. Fucking never been so sunburnt in my life. You're literally pale from being on ship for 7 months, and then you go on this island, and I'm just turned pink.
You get it all right back.
There's no shade or anything.
Mhm.
Um, and we're just fucking training and doing whatever, hiking across the fucking island with no vegetation on it. And then we look across and we see Cat 2, just trucks parked up in their fucking shorts, just like having a beach day. Like they're chicken fighting in the water and like if they had fucking beer, they would have like been allowed to drink it probably. Like
Yeah.
they they're they were having a beach day right in front of us while we were like supposed to be serious training, like giving like sit reps on our positions and whatever. But like how are we taking this serious right now?
It's like you can, but you can't.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Was that the same one? Because I remember because we went to the Trash Islands once, but we were there for almost all day, and then we took the trucks, like, got the Humvees onto the island, and then we went to
Yeah.
go put them back up that night, but all of them got stuck on the sand.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. It was just like an absolute embarrassment of like not for us, but like just like why do we have to pull our trucks around this fucking sandy island when we were pulling them off onto the island, they were just getting stuck immediately. Like, and then they're like, all right, let's try to drive it 1,000 feet that way and see if it'll work out any better. And it was just, I don't know, just a shit show. Typical.
Yeah, I remember Charnes had he filmed all of it with his GoPro. We're just all standing around, like unless you were driving or trying to push the truck, we're just literally bumps on a log, and he's just interviewing everybody like we're having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a good place for moto pics. That's about it.
Isn't it funny how that island's in the middle? That those islands were literally in the middle of nowhere, but somehow they got like Starbucks junk and like, it's like how do you get it? How do you get any of this stuff to this island? Like, there's nothing here.
I don't know. I think it was technically like Saudi Arabian territory, right?
Yeah, I think the story was like the Saudis and the Iranians like disputed it or something, which is like I don't know why they're going to dispute. Like, if all the land disputes to have, you're going to try to go for those islands, but unless there's like
Yeah,
oil underneath, I don't know. But
it's like the size of a football field, just covered in trash, rats, and birds.
yeah, literally,
That was another funny thing. Like sleeping at night was we're like on the crest of like the beach, and if you go too far down, there's like fucking big ass crabs and shit.
okay.
And then if you like went up too far, there were fucking rats running around, or I think it was mice. I don't know if it was actual rats, but the mice were fucking running around biting people.
Oh
So
God.
like, so like you had to be in your camis, sleeping boots on, and it's hot as fuck.
Mhm.
And then like any exposed skin, they would try to bite. So like you
Okay.
had to have your head up on your pack. And then I remember taking my hand and like I would like cross my arms and like hide my hands because
Dude.
and you would have to, the goal was to try, they would bite you no matter what. And people would just fucking jump up and start running and throw their pack and shit. Like freak
God,
the
dude,
fuck out. It was
dude, that's so
hilarious.
scary
It
of
was,
a wake up.
yeah. Yeah. People would just be like, Jesus Christ, and throw their shit. But I remember like the goal was just try to fall asleep before they fucking get you. Like in a break in all the them bothering you, you have to get like try to fall asleep because in your sleep you wouldn't really feel it. But,
Okay.
I don't know. It was funny as shit.
Yeah, that that'd be a funny scene, especially if you're on like Firewatch or something. You're just looking at everybody peacefully sleeping. You got like the nice waves coming in, and then you just see fucking like Bridgeforth or well, he's not there, but like anybody in CAAT just like motherfucker just throw
Yeah.
shit.
Nothing makes suffering better than just watching somebody else suffer. You know what I mean?
Misery loves company.
Just like
Gotcha.
as long as I'm not the only one, you know.
Hmm. Did you go to the Libo port in, is it Bahrain?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Bahrain. That was actually on my birthday.
Oh really?
That was fucking hilarious. All the snipers was in it. Like a couple of us from CAT and I think it was all of the snipers got packed into this elevator, and we're
Okay.
fucking like we're all drinking. Obviously, we haven't drank in months,
Yeah.
and we're going up to the second story. There's like this bar, which funny enough was like I think it was called like Rodeos or something. Like
Uh-huh.
like kind of like a country like American bar, but it's in
Yeah.
Bahrain. We're
Uh-huh.
going up to the second story, and everyone is packed, tight as fuck in this elevator. There's like 20 people in there, and they're just fucking banging on the doors. Like everyone's going nuts because we haven't had any kind of fun in like 2 months. And then the door fucking swings wide open, and there's just like a couple like people just like, what the fuck is going on? And we all just like scatter out of the elevator, just like small ass elevator. Did not expect like 20 people to come out of that thing. It's like a clown car.
Did they because you know how sometimes when you'll get like when the elevator gets to your floor, you kind of like creep up like nose to wall, like it just bracing to walk out. Like were they
Yeah,
like that or
yeah, yeah. It's probably even worse.
oh
But
Lord.
no one cared. Everyone was just going crazy in that elevator. Like, because that was like, I think that was like the second bar we went to. So like
Uh-huh.
we already had a little bit of a buzz, obviously, and then that was like, all right, this is gonna be a good night kind of thing. We hadn't had in a long time, so it was like everyone was just going fucking crazy.
Hmm. That's funny. Just can't imagine being just like two little Arabian people just waiting to get on the elevator, and you just see a bunch of Marines just storming out.
Yeah,
Like shit, they're here to take our oil.
yeah, bunch of idiots in the elevator.
How was how was it like when you guys got back on ship?
Yeah, I think we were fucking late as hell. And like, oh god, I'm like we're all gonna like lose rank and you know get the worst of it because they said do anything but fucking get arrested out in town and or be late, right? So
Uh-huh.
um and it's like way worse on ship because it's like you get in trouble with like the Marines and the Navy.
Hmm.
um and we were late as shit, and then come to find out like there's a problem with the buses, so everyone was late. So we
Ah,
were like, okay, we're good.
yeah.
Like first sergeant was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like there's a problem with the shuttles, so like everyone's fine. I'm like, okay, thank God.
Yeah, thank goodness we're being responsible. We we made it.
No, we were not. we were
Yeah.
not.
That's
We were not.
was it even ugh. I keep getting all tongue twisted. Was it even a good port over there?
Cutscene. What's that?
Am I cutting out on you?
I said cutscene.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah. I'll do my
edit
little
that out.
wizardry.
Yeah, yeah. What were you asking? I'm sorry.
Was Bahrain even a good port? Even though there was the one or two bars, was it a decent port, or was it? I didn't really hear too much about it because 81s we went to the Gulf and we went on the Oak Hill when you guys were there.
Oh shit! I thought you were okay.
And
Some
yeah,
reason.
we went to Dubai, baby. We skated
Oh
out of
yeah,
that one.
yeah. I want to hear about that, but let me tell you about Bahrain real quick. So we were there for like 4 days, I think. Um, but you could go to the fucking Navy like base PX right there, which is whatever, it's the same as any PX. And then you get food that you didn't have on ship, obviously, just like fast food, whatever. There's a couple bars, and then like going out in town, there's a couple bars, but it's still like it's so weird because it's an Americanized kind of very small part of town, but
Uh-huh.
it still feels like the Middle East, you know.
Yeah.
And then also there's like I guess it's just a culture thing, but like you're walking down the street there, they're just trying to sell you like fake watches and shit. And
Yep.
there's no personal space. They're just like right up in your shit.
Okay.
Um, but other than that, like I don't know, there's nothing really crazy or anything that really stood out about it, but it was definitely like a good break, especially on my birthday. I got to like FaceTime my parents and shit. So
Oh, that's good. Essentially, it was a good, a nice little pit stop in the break of being on ship.
yeah, yep. I think that was my 22nd birthday. Yeah, good time. I want to hear about Dubai. I know Lacoste went there. I didn't hear too much, but I think I would have rather went there.
Yeah, I didn't go to I didn't go to Bahrain, but from what I've heard, yeah, I definitely would rather stay in Dubai. It's
Oh, you didn't miss anything in Bahrain, but it is cool. It is cool because you're on a ship at sea and then you get a break. But
oh yeah,
that's the only reason it's cool. There's nothing cool about Bahrain specifically, you know.
oh yeah. I remember. So I can't. I want to say we did it after. Maybe we did it before, but I forget. But we went to the Oak Hill because we were going to support Golf Company and doing this range in Kuwait. So we
Yep.
did. We shot mortars. We did the two. A handful of us shot the 240. We did a couple things with that, but we were on the Oak Hill the whole time. And the Oak Hill, I think, was the smallest ship within our fleet.
Okay.
So we're going from the Baton, which is aircraft carrier, LHD, and then we're going to the Oak Hill. I don't know if destroyer, cruiser. I don't know the terminology for the ships, but like this is tiny little thing. There's like no higher ups on it. It's just a handful of the platoons from Golf Company, and then like a few of the sailors that like run the ship for the Navy. So it's very quiet, very laid back over there. You can go outside because there's no flight deck per se.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you can actually like go out and green on green, sit back and enjoy the sun a little bit. Just don't sit in the captain's chair and you're good.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Baton they had flight quarters pretty much every waking minute. So you just you could go outside to the smoke pit, but you're killing your
Yeah.
lungs. If you want to get sunlight. So
Yeah.
Dubai, or go
Yeah.
ahead.
That's true. No, I was just agreeing with you. Like, it's a good
Yeah.
point. Like, you really couldn't fucking go topside to do anything.
No,
It's
yeah, I feel
always
like it's so I mean, especially like people understand it now because of COVID, but that's so unhealthy for you to just not get sunlight. I think that's part of the reason why we got so quirky on the boat. It's just,
yeah, yeah. Well, you're packed in a certain space. You fucking have no like social life or free time besides with the boys, which is fine, but um, you're just stuck at work for a year basically.
uh,
Um, and then what really pissed me off was the Navy,
uh-huh.
with just like some random. They got jobs in the Navy where they're like um, filling up vending machines and shit. Like that's their job,
Yeah.
stocking a vending machine on the ship. And then
Hmm.
technically, certain people like they could outrank you and try to tell you like what to do. I'm like, I'm sorry, a little arrogant, but like I think infantry marine outranks any of your fucking vending machine stockers.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not saying we did anything crazy, but like even the training is Like, what have you done? You're not even in the military practically. Like,
Yeah, you see a lot of that with the not like obviously the Navy has their good people. You know, not the Marines aren't perfect, but you see that with some of these other branches. It's like a lot of you guys are just civilians with like a military
yeah,
benefits. It's like there's not like anything military that some of these jobs get to do. Like,
yeah,
oh,
and nothing against that. They need those people,
yeah,
absolutely. I'm not trying to completely shit on it, but it's like don't start shit with us if you fucking think you're something, because
yeah,
nobody's saying like we did anything or like there's respect to all the actual you know infantrymen, but
yeah.
the guys who actually like did shit, um but then there's the opposite side of that. It's like, dude, you fill up a vending machine, don't fucking try to get tough with me. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah. I know.
hiding behind like a Navy. That was the worst part, because like being a E3 is like someone trying to tell you what to do. Like,
Yeah,
it's like you're not even in my command at all. Like,
it's like I get it. You know, being because like we were on ship tax together. It's like I get it, but at the same token, dude, it's like, dude, come on, man. Like you like you don't even wield the same firepower we do, man. You got a cart full of Cheetos and Takis, dude. I have like I got shitty with a 240.
well, yeah, exactly. And then think about it, like the Iranians kept coming up to our ship on their little like jet skis or whatever.
I
They're
remember
fucking
that now. Yeah,
their little surfboards,
jet
uh,
skis.
pointing dishkas at us, and it's like, who goes out on the scat? They call scat over the intercom, and it's like fucking Marines go out, not for security, not like there's barely any sailors on scat. They fucking man certain shit, but it was 90% Marines on the outside.
What's
So
crazy is that, like a lot of the MAs, they kind of act and behave like us a little bit. They're very, I don't, I don't know, it's weird to describe. Like one of my Navy friends at my school, he was an MA, like he did a similar thing, and I don't know, like just the way he conducts himself and the way that he talks about like infantry stuff. It's like he's almost very Marine-esque. Like you would almost never guess that they're sailors.
well, yeah, it's even like the like Navy corpsman is practically a Marine.
Hmm.
It's like green side. You're with them the whole time. You're shooting. You got to carry a med bag on hikes. Like, you kind of earn it in a way.
They're the cool cousin at the Thanksgiving table. Like you don't live in the same house that we do, like under the same rules, but like, dude, like there's a mutual respect.
Yeah, yeah. I think the best thing, like, it's probably like the coolest thing for them is like once the Marines like accept you, because they get
Mhm.
fucking kind of hazed into the platoon too. Like,
Yeah,
and then once you're like, all right, that's our fucking boy, don't fuck with him. They kind of made it like within the platoon.
yeah.
Like,
It's
don't be fucking with our corpsman. We'll fuck
yeah,
you up.
it's funny. It's so funny to piece their lives together because I just did an episode with Rojas, and
Yeah.
then I've done a couple like with Doc Lucas, and then I did one with Joey, and just piecing together like from what I talk with them about like hearing the blue side, and then when they come to the green side, it's almost like they can. I don't know. It's kind of like to them, it's kind of like being with the cool kids a little bit. It's like they get to take the mask off a little bit. They get to break the rules, quote unquote. Like they
Well, yeah. That's why I think the Marine Corps is awesome. Shit. That's why I think the drop the camera. That's why I think the Marine Corps is awesome too. Is like it's a little bit of the wild wild west as far as where I think like other branches would be easier in a lot of ways. You'd be like, oh, I don't have to. Like I remember in Japan, we fucking like did a some kind of training event with the whole company. Just around the entire base was the event. Just
yeah.
carrying ammo cans, sandbags, fucking. I don't know if we had logs, but normally there's logs. There was definitely stretchers. He always had a dude on the stretcher, and we were fucking running around the entire base with a guy on a stretcher,
Hmm.
and just absolute chaos. People screaming, fucking hurry the fuck up, like. But in a way, it's just like fucking fun. I don't know why. I kind of miss that. Like, just like the fuck over here. Like, let's go. Like,
Hmm.
you know, there's something different about it that you don't like. Going through really hard shit is just like, I don't know, makes the boys. And then you fucking go back to the barracks, shower off, fucking hit the PX, go get dinner. And maybe if you have time off, go get some beers with the boys, the E Club or whatever.
Yeah,
Outside
it
of
hits.
like
It's
just
an interesting dynamic. Literally like 2 minutes ago, we were complaining about how like the Navy has it better than us in certain spots, but at the same token, like we'd rather not have that. We'd rather at least do the hard shit and at least have that.
well,
Trying to think of
as fucked up as this is, yeah, I'd rather have the hard shit and like, you know, the I don't know, just the mantra of the Marine Corps um than to be like, yeah, I was in the Navy. Like
Mhm.
unless you're like a SEAL, like no one cares.
Yeah,
Not that you do it for who cares or who doesn't care. You do it for you, but um
Mhm.
personally, I like if I went back, I wouldn't do it any other way besides maybe small, like, oh, like maybe I should have done the indoc or
yeah.
XYZ, but other like realistically, like you were in it, you made the decisions you made at the time, and that's where it got you. So
Oh yeah, because in terms of being just to kind of piggyback off that, maybe to wrap it and like articulate it better. You don't want to change in any other way or like go to another branch like if you had to do it back because there's more of a confidence like knowing that you can complete like for example, like everyone always says Marine Corps is the higher standards. We have like the hardest boot camp, our
yeah,
infantry trains a little harder, our PT's harder, our CFT's harder. And you always hear about us complain about it like while we're doing it.
well,
But
that was the
we have more of
that
a
was
pride about it because we know that like when we look back on it, it's like, okay, I did that. And I'm
yeah, that was the best part. Is like I would have fucking never in my life would I like experience the pain that you experience on like the physical shit you do in the infantry. But
Mhm.
you're pushed to that point and you like reach new fucking limits that you never thought you could do. And I remember you brought up a thought that I had. I remember getting to the fleet, one of the first hikes we had, like we had like a 20K hike, like right off the bat, like first 2 weeks in, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously we didn't know at the time, it was just to fucking break us in and shit. But I remember our seniors and just thinking they were all fucking absolute animals because not only were they unbothered on the hikes as we're fucking struggling,
Uh-huh.
like they seemed completely unfazed, just absolute dogs. And then we'd get the 5 minute break on the hike. Like you put your pack down and shit. And I just see these guys like fucking around, having a good time, smoking cigarettes. I'm like, how are you smoking a cigarette on this hike right now? Like, I'm fucking dying.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, they were probably carrying a little less weight because they weren't new guys, but still, you know. So that kind of set the tone early. It was like, all right, the Marine Corps is some fucking. It's not what you think because like you see a Hollywood movie, you're like, all these guys are fucking gigantic, studs or whatever, and
Yeah.
not everyone looks like that.
No.
But you'll see a lot of times the guy that's fucking 120 pounds, but he's just a fucking absolute animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, um, and then of course you got the big motherfuckers too that act the same way. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, I don't know. It just set the tone early as far as like these guys are some fucking dogs, and that's what you want to kind of aspire to be. And then we had the chitties and like just fucking lunatics that are. It became like, all right, we're getting hazed and this sucks, but then it became like funny, like nothing you can do can touch us anymore because it's just funny to us, and
Yeah.
we're consistently just getting better and stronger, faster, whatever,
Hmm.
and then you're kind of up to speed on like, all right, this is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Hopefully that made sense. I don't know if I can know.
It did. No, I mean, it's we hit a bunch of different rocks going down the creek, but I mean, we're just trying to piece it together, trying to articulate it. It's not like there's a lot of people doing it, or especially at our age, I mean, hey, we're in our mid-20s, we're still trying to make sense of it all, especially after
Yeah,
being out the past 4 years, because we've had time to
yeah, to
yeah, we
kind of to reflect on
reflect.
it,
Yeah.
and you have a broader perspective of it too.
Hmm.
Being a little older, because
Yeah, and maturing and
at the
life
time
experience.
you're in it, that's all you see, and then you kind of see like the big picture after,
Yeah.
and like what's it called? I don't know. It's just God, I lost my train of thought there, but
You're good, homie. We're trying to trudge along through this. It's
yeah,
difficult to think. We weren't paid to do that too much.
yeah. I've definitely never done a podcast before. Never thought I'd be interviewed, so this is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be doing this honestly too, but now it's turned into like I've gotten to talk and meet with so many people in the unit, and like I mean, granted we had a few interactions when we were on ship tax and stuff, but now that like I'm conversing with you and knowing you more and everyone else from the unit and even outside the unit, I've talked with a lot of people who weren't in 2-8, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. Yo, in the future, I think what you should do
Yeah,
is get like a group podcast
a
if you
group
can.
podcast.
I don't know if this app lets you do like multiple people, but
Oh,
what
okay, I see what you're saying.
like how much crazier it would be if you get a couple people together and just get
Uh,
them going, to get the
yeah,
shit talking going and all that stuff.
yeah. I would very well be down for that. I don't know. I don't know if it would work too well. Like, I mean, 3 people would probably be like the best you could do, like on an
Yeah.
online setting. I feel like if I were in person, like whenever we have our reunions, or if I'm traveling and I happen to be close by, that would definitely work.
Yep. Yep.
But I love that concept though.
I just know that it'd be some good content for sure.
10,000%. I already know that. Like I can name at least a dozen cliques, platoons, people in the unit that would work perfectly, from you guys and CAAT 81s. Yeah, pretty much every platoon that I can think of from 2-8 would work.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you had to, let's say we did 4. If you had to invite 2 other people on, who would you put? Who would you put on the spotlight?
Oof. I'm gonna upset some people here. If I can only pick 2.
Yeah.
Probably
Let's see where your
Lacoste.
loyalties lie here, Flannery.
Probably Lacoste, because that'd be funny as shit.
Okay. Okay.
Now the problem is picking the third person. Let's see.
I have to admit, I forgot. Now I start to remember. Didn't Lacoste? Didn't he have? Where was he from again? Is he from Florida? Right?
He's from Louisiana.
Louisiana. Yes, because I remember he had a weird accent to him. Like that. That makes sense. Like he would be perfect.
Yeah, yeah. We're actually no one's really sure where he's from.
Okay. We'll just say he's from Louisiana.
He crawled out of something. I know that.
Crawled out of that swamp speaking French or whatever they speak over there.
Yeah, fucking most redneck motherfucker I ever met. I don't even know if that's redneck. That's like a different breed.
Yeah.
The swamp is a different breed out there.
No, 100%.
Yo, I went to visit him, or I went with him to visit family down the bayou. I don't know if you've ever been down the bayou in Louisiana.
No.
Being from New Jersey, I thought I was in a third world country, dude. Not even talking shit on it or anything. Like,
No.
but I'm just like, I felt so out of place. I was like, this is not how we operate in New Jersey. Everything's different.
Yeah, dude, you're in the deep South, man. That's like it had to be a culture shock.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of respect to it. Like, fucking, I don't know, a lot of hard workers down there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, generally in the South there is, but a lot of blue collar.
Yeah. Well, when you got to rebuild your city every 9 months when it rains, you learn a couple things out there.
Yeah. I think he was in fucking Katrina when that happened.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. If you grew up there, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Crazy shit. But all right, so for the third person, I'd probably pick. Hold on, let me scroll out of this real quick.
Oh, you're fine.
Let me run through some names.
Okay.
I think I'd go like on what would be the funniest combination.
Because I like the combo that we have, like if it were just us three right now, but I'm thinking who would be that cherry on top that would be.
I don't know if I want to go with CAAT or if I want to go with my boy
Yeah, you can pick
Popa.
anybody. This yeah. Oh,
Bill
Popa?
Popa probably. Yeah,
Oh Lord, dude.
he's a talker.
Yeah.
We just went to Strawser's wedding in Tampa like a few
Okay.
months ago, and he was basically my plus one because like,
Yeah.
like neither of us had dates there, so it was just us hanging out and you know other people from CAT too, but they're like younger, but all still our boys.
I feel like Popa would be a perfect one to bring. Like, even though, like, obviously, like, you're both guys. I mean, even if you just bring him for like the plus one, or if you just bring him as a wingman, I mean, I feel like he would be perfect for that.
Yeah, dude, we couldn't stop fucking laughing for like a 2 day period. We just had like a million beers and just got rowdy at the wedding.
True Marine Corps fashion.
Yeah, good old time.
Was were you just like friends with Popa, or did you know him for like before or did he come to 2-8 like straight into snipers, or I forgot how he showed up?
I forget like if we forget if we. I think I became friends with him on shit,
Okay.
and he was always just fucking in the lounge or like in that little section, just
Uh-huh.
fucking talking, telling stories, like just a
Hmm.
funny motherfucker.
The similar way to how I met him, because I like he wasn't with us during the UDP, but I feel like he just magically appeared out of nowhere. Like somebody just like snapped their fingers and he just showed up, and then it's like, yeah, he's just in the unit now, and now he's like this
Yeah,
big personality.
and then he always hung out with Kat too, which is funny.
Yeah.
And then also when we got back, and we were just kind of waiting to get out, which I think was the best period. You really like didn't have too much responsibility um, on a day-to-day basis, like training wise.
Uh-huh.
And we're all just fucking on our way out and just like, dude, we were like going to the like you'd have a morning formation and then like dudes are like going to the beach for the day and shit. Like
Yeah.
um but we were all on the first floor, Wallace Creek, 140, I think. The one that's closer to the chow hall.
Hmm.
And like the best building to be in my opinion. First
Yeah.
floor. It was all of CAT on the first floor. And then like Popa and I think what's his name? Cody. I forget his last name. I'm just drawing a blank right now.
Uh, Venable, Villanueva, which I'm trying to think
No,
of.
no, from Snipers.
Oh, Silvestri. That was that
Yeah,
it?
Sylvester. Yeah. Sorry, Sylvester. Forgot your last name. No, so their room was on the end, and we started like obviously we came back from ship, and it was just a big fucking party for a long time, really.
Yeah.
The barracks were just getting nuts. Also, we'd party on the outside on the lawn behind him, and he could just have the window open and like a speaker right there, and fucking they would just hop in and out of the room through the window.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, and then just like the daily fucking beach trips and shit were nuts.
Hmm.
But yeah, having his room right there, that's definitely like he was like right across the hall practically from me, maybe one down. Um, that's where we became good friends too. I think it is funny, like with the Marines, it's so easy to like make fucking good friends, and then outside of that, it's just like you don't see people the same way necessarily.
Yeah.
But like there's a certain scale on how you judge people based on like yeah, I've seen this dude fucking do some crazy shit in training. Like that's someone I want to fucking hang out with, you know.
Oh yeah.
In the day to day, like back home, it's like I don't know if these people are like got your back in a tough situation or not. You just have no clue, you know.
Yeah, it's strange because it's like I don't want to say human nature changes for us a little bit, but like when we know people in the Marines, even in the other branches, I would say too, it's like you live with them. Like you live with them when you're off work, and then when you go to work, you're doing everything with them. So it's like you
Yeah,
really learn everything about the person, both like the good, the bad, the great, the ugly, and you grow closer to them in good ways and in bad ways sometimes. But then when you like, I know everybody can relate, but then it's like when you go out, it's it's not as strong, but it's also not the same. It's like you don't bond as easily with other people because you know how strong you can grow with other people. Plus, like the
yeah,
friends that you make, like the friends that we make, like in the Marines and stuff like that. I don't, not to say you can't make friends when you get out, but it doesn't relate. I feel it's harder because you can't grow as close to them.
yeah, yeah. Or you go out for beers or whatever, but you're not like, oh, well, I'm not like fucking nuts like I was back then. I think that's
Yeah,
another thing with the infantry. They fucking you're a little bit brainwashed where you're like fucking on edge all the time. You're fucking ready to go. At least I was like, but I don't know. We would be down to get in a bar fight or like didn't care. Like we were just
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
you know.
I'll cut the outside world some slack. Maybe we do go out a little.
Yeah,
Maybe we're not the most normal looking crayon in the bunch.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember coming home on leave. I almost got a fight just because somebody was talking shit over like a game of pool or something. And then like
Uh,
looking back, like now, I would never do that. I just
yeah,
let it go, like walk away. But at the
uh,
time, I was like, "You're not gonna fucking say that shit." Like, just go. I was drunk, but I was like going off
yeah.
like a maniac.
Uh,
But yeah, I wouldn't. Times have changed.
mm,
Now I'm curious. I'm curious if I was back in, would I be like, you know, like what's I want to come up with the right word here. I guess when you're in, you're a little more aggressive as a person.
yeah,
You have to be.
yeah.
But it obviously translates outside, and that's kind of like worn off a little bit.
I'm curious to hear what you think about it. But being in, well, I guess you started sales a little bit after you'd been out and kind of molded yourself back to being a regular person. But do you think
Yeah.
just being who you were as a Marine, or like being a yeah, do you think being a Marine and then going into like a sales job per se, did you notice if there was anything that helped you with that, or maybe set you back with that, or is that
I
something real
think
you notice?
absolutely. I think what helps is because this is something that I would like never see myself doing, and like if you can do the infantry, you can really fucking do anything.
Hmm.
You know, and I just fucking got into it, and it was fucking pretty miserable at first with sales. Like I was like, damn, these are fucking long days, and it's a different kind of long. It's not like you can tough it out or like you got to be polished and like well spoken and you know I can't like say the F word around a customer and you
Yeah,
know, you got to put on a sales like professionalism that's not necessarily how you always you know talk outside of that. Got to
yeah.
clean up the locker room talk a little bit.
Uh,
um but yeah, like what helped is just the perseverance, I guess.
mhm.
Like shit doesn't go your way, you're just like, all right, fuck it, like we're still gonna do this.
Yeah, just overall the hard work mentality,
Yeah,
or the work ethic, I guess you'd say.
yeah.
Mm.
Now that being said, I did like the sales because like you can roll in. I start at 9, like you're
Yeah.
sleeping in.
Hmm.
I can roll in, clock in, and then like there's no exact break, so like I can kind of come and go as I please.
Okay.
To to an extent, I can like go get a coffee or go get lunch or whatever, go get dinner. But there's a little bit of freedom with that, and now at the place I'm at right now, I think my management kind of thinks similar to how I do. Like if we're having private conversations, I can kind of, you know, be no filter, and it's okay. And like we have a good old time. It's like funny ass conversations.
Uh-huh.
Um, but then we have the ability to, as soon as the customer's there, you turn it on and you're professional.
No, yeah, I noticed that too. It's, now that you get comfortable with it, but you're bonding with your workers nonetheless, or just being with your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? You said.
Going to school for it's called mechanical maintenance engineering. So basically an
Okay.
engineer, but for like HVAC or electrician, basically like a blue collar engineer, nonetheless.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm
you're going to school. You're getting the BAH right now and all that shit.
yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah, yeah. Phoenix is pretty expensive, so they have it's pretty high right now, thankfully. So
Are you gonna stay out in Arizona or are you gonna go back?
I don't know. It would depend because I make my spoiler alert for the personal fans, but my Muay Thai debut should be in November. So if that goes well, and then like if I train well and do well, I may stay out here because the MMA is, and plus like stand up comedy, which is also another thing I do. Like the
Yeah.
scenes out here are really good, so that's like pulling me. I If I move back, I would just move back just to be around like family with the East Coast, and plus to get away from this heat because the summers here are god awful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. I remember Florida. I can't imagine Arizona. Sounds
Yeah,
even
like
worse.
I'm just a monster. Maybe I just prefer the humidity, and I'm just weird like that. But
I mean, it's hot in New Jersey right now. It's
yeah,
my dash says 100 degrees right now. Obviously, it's probably a little off, but
yeah.
yeah,
It's like I can deal with 100 degrees, but it always every summer here it hits 110. You can deal with that for a couple days, but it's consistent out here during June, July. It's like every single day it's like that, and it's
yeah,
just like I have full AC, and I don't know if you've heard. I don't know if you can hear from the microphone. But like I've had my fan on this whole time we're talking. Like so.
right, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's nice
I
when it
must,
dies down like for the rest of the year, but it's like you can't it's hard to do anything in the summer here.
yeah. That's the one thing I didn't like about Florida is like it's draining. So if
Yeah.
you're like, I would be inside all the time because I'm like, it's so fucking hot. Like I don't want to do anything. I'm exhausted in 2 seconds.
Hmm.
Like, I go for like a little run or something, just trying to stay active, and like
Hmm.
makes you feel like a fucking bitch because I'm like, you
It
always
humbles
think
you.
back. I always think back. This is the you know military. You're in peak shape, and I always think back to those kind of times on all kinds of different athletic things like running, lifts, whatever. You think of
Yeah.
those stats, and then you always compare like your best to like where you're at now, and you're like, yeah, I'm not even fucking close to that at all. Like
Oh God,
I
it's
just I just ran a mile and I want to puke, and you know feel like my heart's beating out of my chest and shit.
yeah. I kind of just want to go back inside and not do any of this for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Get a cold shower, call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I just vented all that. Like I vented out all my anger about the heat for the past 2 weeks onto you like that.
Oh no, like totally get it. Totally get it. I think this
Yeah.
is like a therapy podcast as well.
Yeah, dude. You gotta let things off your chest a little bit from time to time.
Yeah, yeah. Good to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But how is New Jersey as a state though? I'm very kind of curious though, because like I don't hear too many people from there. You just hear about like the Jersey Shore stereotypes and the Italians and whatnot.
That's all true. But I'm like South Central, and it's I don't know. It's like suburbs. Nothing. It's a pretty good melting pot of people. It's not really like Italian or whatever. It's like decent suburbs.
Okay.
I don't really how to describe it, but
It's almost like the rest
nothing.
of Middle America. Like
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It's nothing nothing crazy in any certain direction. But
Okay. So I mean, the state's pretty small, so I imagine you're going to be there regardless. So are you pretty close then to like Pennsylvania, Delaware? Is like that where you're near New Jersey?
yeah, yeah, I'm 20 minutes from Philadelphia, so
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, I can go over there. I could be there in 20 minutes.
You could, but you
Now
probably wouldn't go though, just because it's Philly.
I go for like baseball games or like
Mm,
we
okay.
might hit like bars out there or whatever, but try to usually if you're going over the bridge, it's a long night, so like try to avoid those.
If any Marines or sailors or anybody that's listening is thinking of maybe going to New Jersey, would you recommend it if they were to live out there when they get out?
No, I wouldn't. Nothing significant. Like unless you have family out here or something, then it's not a bad place. If you want to be here, but
Yeah.
personally, the I'd say the best part is the Four Seasons, where that's the only downside to Florida is it's just so fucking hot all the time. But
Yeah.
other than that, I'd rather be there.
So, how are we doing on time? We're
Do you write your questions or are they just off the dome?
all off this dome piece. It's hit or miss if they're good or bad. We just bounce off it wherever we go.
All off the grape. I like that.
Yeah,
Just freestyle.
yeah. I apologize for some of my pauses. I mean that just happens sometimes, but I try to.
I mean, I did it too. You just cut them out or what? Or
Do
just
what?
leave it in there? You just
Yeah,
edited it out or?
yeah. I've been thinking about that too because what I've really been trying to do is not say the words like or when I talk
Yeah.
because when I edit the shows, I hear it the first time I hear it, it's all I hear through the rest of the show, and it pisses me off. But
Yep.
that's what sucks about being able to edit all this out is because when I do catch myself with the pauses or if I say something I shouldn't or if I say the word like or too many times, I'm not incentivized to stop it. I just clip it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But to
get it.
answer your question, yeah, I do. I do it all the time.
I'm sure it's a learning thing as you go.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure, being in sales, it's, conversations, dealing with people, it's way
Yeah.
harder
Like
than art than anybody advertises.
I've gotten better at it. Like, but
Mm.
it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Especially if you get somebody that's kind of dry and you don't really have much to bounce off of them. It's like you're holding the conversations. It is tough.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna name names, but I mean, I've had some people like in the past, like that I've done episodes with. That I mean, like, obviously, I love them, I care about them, of course, but sometimes they're not the most. They don't have the most, like you said, they're very bland. They're not the best people to talk with, so it's.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on a bad first date. I'm like, yeah, what movies do you like? Are you?
Yeah. Not saying I'm any kind of like Dave Chappelle or anything, but I feel like I've gotten better at, conversating through sales.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to all day.
Yeah.
You're doing reps all day, so you have to figure out a way to get through it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're a not decent salesman, you're still at least a professional at talking with people somewhat.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not like the most extroverted like person ever either. So it's like,
Mhm.
you gotta force yourself to talk to people, and you're talking to all walks of life from everywhere. So
Yeah.
I've had it all. I've had like there's refugees from Ukraine trying to buy a car like a couple weeks ago. Like
Really? Okay.
the craziest shit walks into the door, like from all over, all walks of life, just like whatever. So you gotta learn to conversate.
Well, what does Rick Harrison say? You never know what's going to come through that door.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're pretty much right on time. I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have any plugs, any promotions, like if you want people to follow you on social media, you can feel free to drop that. And then advice, words of wisdom to any of the guys that are still in, you can just drop that, and then we'll dip.
Okay. I guess if you want to follow Instagram, be Flan FLAN _ DAWG.
The Flan Dog.
Flan Dog. Best advice to people that are in, fucking enjoy that shit. As because you're fucking you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it one day. You get out, you're gonna think about it every fucking day. So just live it up. Don't have any shit that you're gonna regret. Go fucking all in. Volunteer for shit. Don't try to avoid any responsibility. Just fucking do whatever. Do what you got to do. Have your boys back. Fucking take advantage of that chow hall for sure. free food. Well, it's like $300, but free food, free gym. Miss that shit.
Yeah. Everybody who's gotten out, they all say they regret not doing that stuff. So yeah. I second that motion.
Have fun, be a savage. That's it. Hold the line.
Have fun, be a savage. I'm titling the name of this episode after that.
I like that.
All right. Well, I don't know if you want me to call you by your slave name or if you want me to call you Collin. However it works.
Nah, Collin's good. Collin's good. But
right,
appreciate you having me on. I've never thought I'd be on a podcast, so this is pretty cool.
No, yeah, man, I love the fact that you were on, Collin, dude. It was a lot of fun having you on, and I'm glad I get to catch up with you, talk with you, know you a little bit more. It's fun to see you not in the ship tax uniform anymore. So,
yeah, we'll have to. I obviously follow the page. We'll definitely have to link up at some point. Do something.
Oh, 10,000%. Yes, if I find my way on I'll find my way on the East Coast. I don't know when I'll be in Jersey, but we'll definitely link up.
Absolutely. Or even Florida, wherever. If I'm out in Arizona for some reason, who knows?
Yes. I will shield you from the desert heat for certain.
Yeah.
Next time I have you on, you need to get, or next, if I get Lacoste on, or if you come on next, we need to have you in Lacoste. I feel like that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, I appreciate it. So.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for having you on. I'll talk to you after, and we're out of here.